I'm going live. You are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 15-0 New York Giants take on the 0-15 Dallas Cowboys. Why the Dallas Cowboys 0-15? Because they suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Everybody, anybody at all out there going to spend a little bit of time with me here tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Or anybody watches the replay of this, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys absolutely freaking rock. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, all right, the way I always try to do. Anybody got anything at all to say, put it in the chat box. I check on it every now and then, so feel free to put anything at all you want in there, right? Now, I'll check on it. Anybody got any questions at all or anything, feel free to fire away, all right? But, we got the first little rumblings of the year going on there. The first little person, not a little person, but first person who's maybe a little ticked off. And then, there's always like, you can be ticked off, but not say anything about it. Or, I mean, there's ways about going about it, but Kenny Golladay's not taking a low road. He's venting his frustration, shall we say? And I guess in a way, I don't blame him. Thinks he should be playing. I mean, you're the highest paid receiver, right? Let's see. Kenny Golladay got the richest contract for a wide receiver before the 2021 season when he signed a 4-year, $72 million deal with the Giants. Former general manager Dave Gettleman made a desperate move in hopes of getting the most out of quarterback Daniel Jones and improve the Giants' lackluster offense, but it was a disaster. And last Sunday, Golladay played just 2 snaps. And, he's starting to vent his frustration here a little bit. As I said, I can't blame him. Man wants to play football, right? He's only in there for 2 snaps. I mean, but whether it's he's just not, I don't know, performing well enough in practice, and David Sills and Richie James are. Whether going into the game, the game plan was, maybe get somebody like Sills and Richie James shorter pass patterns to get the guys open, get the ball out of Daniel Jones's hands fast. Let them catch it. Let them do what they do, because Kenny Galladay's not really that kind of guy. Kenny Galladay's more like a down the field kind of guy. But there's a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones. If he has to hold the ball 3 seconds or so, he may not have 3 seconds to try to get the ball down to Kenny Golladay. So, so I mean, he's just not, I guess, fitting in with their system. They have their system. Dable and Kafka and all, they got their plays and everything, and just Kenny Golladay is just not, that's he's not part of it. And unfortunately he came with the team. So if they don't like Daniel Jones came with the team. They got to do what they got to do. But you can almost, if you're gonna place any bets at all this year, right? Whether it's on a game or this, that, put all the money you've ever made in the middle of the table, all chips in the middle, right? Kenny Golladay will not be on the Giants next year. You can guarantee that, all right? Because they're not going to carry another cap hit of his. I think it's $21 million next year. I think it is. I think they'll let him go. It'll be $14 million dead cap hit. So they'll be saving themselves $7 million. Plus, Kenny Golladay won't be on the team. Okay, so they'll have another slot open. They can, put somebody else on there. Now, that also might include possibly getting rid of Darius Slayton as well, too. We'll have to wait and see. The thing is, the problem is with Golladay is his contract. It's not like, he's making $5 million. Anybody want Kenny Golladay? He's really good at 50-50s. He had some really good years with Detroit. He had 1,000-yard receiving year. I think he led the league in receiving touchdowns one year. Anybody want him? He's only $5 million. Yeah, you have some people raising their hand. Sure, absolutely. He's healthy, right? Right, sure. I'm sure the Giants could trade him and maybe get a sixth for him, or something like that. Get rid of his $5 million. Sure, but it ain't $5 million. It's a lot of money. The thing is, the Giants were to trade him, the Giants would have to, obviously, probably just to get rid of him, would have to eat some of his salary, right? Any other team, team would have to possibly, obviously, give up, I said a late round draft pick, right, just to get him. But I'm sure somebody out there could use him, right? I mean, if we're not going to use him, right? I mean, why have him on the sideline for 2 plays? I mean, seriously, But and that's the problem when especially a GM and a coach come in, right? They want their team. I mean, if they're gonna sink, right? If they brought their Titanic in. If they're gonna sink on the Titanic, they want to sink on the Titanic with their players. They don't want, they don't want, guys that, it doesn't mean that they don't want all the guys on the Giants. It's just some of them just aren't the right fit for their scheme. And that's by Kenny Golladay. Not only is that by Kenny Golladay, but that's Kenny Golladay and his salary. I mean, it's huge, So all it was, Gettleman, just bringing in some high-priced, free agents just to try to, see if we could get a spark going in the offense, and but didn't work out. Didn't work out at all. Now, it says right now, it doesn't seem like Golladay and the Giants coaching staff are the best of pals. From Fox News, this ad right here, or our article. I mean, it is what it is. It's a business. Golladay said, I'm not here to be friends with coaches. They just co-work. They're just co-workers to me. And he says, sure, the salary is nice, but Golladay clearly wants to play. I don't blame him. It's not, 99% of the guys, okay, I'm going to say 99, like the salary, but damn, they want to play freaking football. I mean, this is, some of these guys, this is their whole life, I mean, and you only got so many cracks at it, and then you're going to have to retire. And actually, you're only one play away from retiring. I mean, I don't mean anything bad on anybody, but, you can have a horrific injury anytime and possibly end your career, So, I mean, while the guys are, young enough and all of this, they want to play. As I said, 100% of the guys want money. Absolutely. I don't blame them. If they're going to pay you, you take the money. I can't blame the guys at all for that, right? But, as I said, seems like maybe every now and then you might find somebody who just got money. It's like, all right, man, I got paid. I'm on Easy Street. I got some guaranteed money. I'm good. So maybe I don't have to, put all the effort in there or whatever. But I mean, I want to say 99, probably maybe even more, percent, right? The guys obviously said they want to get paid like Kenny Golladay, but they want to play football, right? And there's only 17 of these games. And then what happens after 17? You got the whole BS all over again. The off-season, the training, the mini camp, training camp, the OTAs, this, preseason, just to get to the regular season, right? And you only got so many regular seasons in your career. I mean, if you're a wide receiver and you play 10 seasons, that's a nice career. Most receivers don't play that long. So, I mean, I don't blame the guy at all. I said, we're going to see how it goes. I came here to play. They're also paying me to play, which is true, right? They want to see more, I guess, or whatever situation on their end. I keep doing what I got to do as far as coming in each day, he also said. Head coach Brian Daboll told reporters after Sunday's 19-16 win over Carolina Panthers that he broke the news to Golladay about his playing time before the game. This is funny. And he said he handled it like a pro. It's a continual competition at receiver. I've said it since when? I'm not being a jerk. I've said it since the middle of camp, right? It hasn't changed. It's going to be a continual competition. He said post-game Sunday, we're just going to keep on rolling guys and play the guys that week that we think would give us the best chance. And the other guys got to be ready as backups. Golladay played in 46 of the Giants' 60 offensive snaps in their week 1, 21-20 win over the Ravens. He had 2 targets, caught them both for 22 yards. All right. And then, of course, last year was a disappointment for Golladay in his first year with the Giants. He didn't score a touchdown and caught just 37 passes for 521 yards in 14 games. And there it is. He led the NFL in receiving touchdowns in 2019. I mean, he led the NFL in receiving touchdowns in 2019. Okay. And here it is 2 years later in 2021. He goes to the Giants. He doesn't even catch a touchdown, not even one. Whew. Then you got Kenny Golladay. And of course, the reporters are all, asking about, oh, you want a possible trade request or whatever. And Kenny Golladay said, we'll see. So it's still early on. The first game he got some playing time. Obviously, last week had to be a huge disappointment for him. So we'll have to see if he starts getting any more time, playing time. We'll have to see what happens with the Cowboy game. But so the New York Giants wide receiver Kenny Golladay, this is from Giants Wire, took just 2 snaps against the Panthers, and he's not happy about it. Following Wednesday's practice, Golladay met with reporters and expressed his frustrations. He also wouldn't rule out a trade request somewhere down the line should his role not increase. I'm not going to get into all that right now, Golladay said. We're going to see how it goes. I came here to play. They were also paying me to play. They want to see more, I guess, of whatever situation on their end. Right? I keep doing what I got to do as far as just coming in each day. For now, however, Golladay is just trying to remain focused on preparing for the Cowboys. I'm preparing like I'm going to be playing, but who knows? The GM, head coach, and all these coaches keep saying, you do everything right, you handle yourself the right way. Like I said, it's a little confusing. Although head coach Brian Daboll previously stated that Golladay took the news of his reduced role like a pro, the veteran wide receiver said point blank he's not on board with it. So somebody's lying. I don't agree with it, he said. I should be playing regardless. That's a fact. And as far as relationship with relationship with Daboll and the team's coaching staff, I mean, it is what it is. It's a business. I'm not here to be friends with coaches. They just co-workers to me, he said. So we'll have to wind up waiting and see, right? What goes on, if his time continues to go up at all or anything, or go down or stay the same. The one thing would be, is that as you go along through the season, I'm not exactly sure what the prorated his salary would be or whatever, but it's basically if you played, whatever, half the season, I guess they owe him about, half his salary. So, I mean, if they start getting toward the end, I forgot what the trade deadline is or all of that. But, if it's halfway through the season, right, obviously his salary is not going to be $21 million. The Giants have already paid, about half of it. So to try to get rid of, him, maybe make a trade, maybe get a 6th or 7th in return, the other team's got to take some of it. I'm sure they're not going to absorb half his cap. The Giants might have to absorb maybe some of it, right? Just to get rid of him, to put him maybe on a team that'll utilize him, but also get something in return. It's kind of the same thing with Darius Slayton. They're not going to use that guy either. I mean, this is his last year, right? I mean, if they think they can get rid of him, maybe get something in return, right? Now, the Giants, they released, they're, what we got here? The unofficial depth chart, So we got, is what it is. A little confusing because they got wide receivers. First string is Kenny Golladay. Then you got David Sills and Darius Slayton, 3rd string. Wow. Then they got first string has got Wan'Dale Robinson. right? So I'm not exactly sure if he's going to be. I got a little bit of some injury here. Okay, I'll go over in a second. Then I got Richie James as the second string. Now it's just weird because last week Richie James and David Sills got like a load of snaps, right? They got a lot of receptions as well too. And Richie James got a lot of snaps, a lot of receptions in week 1 as well too. Okay. Then we got Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard. Those are the other wide receivers. Okay. And then you got, of course, right tackle Evan Neal, Devery Hamilton, and Tyree Phillips at right tackle. Right guard Mark Lewinsky. Boy, I hope the guy starts playing better. Ben Bredesen and Jack Anderson. I'd like to see Jack Anderson get in there as well, too, see what he can do. Center got John Feliciano and Ben Bredesen. The starting left guard is Ben Bredesen, Joshua Ezeudu, and Tyree Phillips. Left tackle, you got Andrew Thomas, Joshua Ezeudu, and Devery Hamilton. All right, so Devery Hamilton is, he's on both tackles, right? Joshua Ezeudu is the left tackle and left guard. Tyree Phillips is right tackle and left guard. Ben Bredesen is right guard, center, and left guard. So you got a bunch of guys in there, versatility, which is huge. I just wish, once again, they would pass block a little bit better, give Daniel Jones a little bit more time. All right, then you got running back, obviously, Saquon Barkley, Matt Breida, Gary Brightwell, Antonio Williams, and Chris Myrick. Chris Myrick, running back / fullback / H-back / tight end, right? So then you got tight end Daniel Bellinger and Tanner Hudson, okay? And, of course, the 2 quarterbacks, Daniel Jones and my man Tyrod. I tell you what, if they ever, I don't know, it would take a lot to pull Daniel Jones. If they ever pull Daniel Jones, the best is Tyrod, though. Because the when things aren't going well, the favorite guy on the whole team is the backup quarterback, right? And Tyrod seizes the moment. Going to be interesting to see. Then on the defense, okay, now is once again, you got Dexter Lawrence at nose tackle, Justin Ellis, and DJ Davidson. Now that defensive tackle, then you got Leonard Williams. All right, now is he going to be able to play or not? All right, I'm going to go over him in a minute. Okay, freaking guy's a warrior, absolute freaking warrior. You got to say what you say. Maybe, especially this first year, well, you only got, was it half a sack? Why are we paying you all this money? You can't this, you can't that. But I'll tell you what, the freaking dude is an absolute freaking warrior. The man plays, unlike Kadarius Toney, okay? And the difference is like Kadarius Toney, sometimes he runs past patterns and this, that, and he doesn't get touched. Leonard Williams every down is hand-to-hand combat, battling it out with 1, sometimes 2, possibly 3, sometimes, players on the offense trying to block him, take his knees out and this, that, and the other thing. And all he does every day, every game is come in and play. That's all he does. You can say what you want, right? Maybe, his contract is a bit much or this, that, and the other thing, but the man plays football. Right. And then they got here, okay, the defensive ends, they got Azeez Ojulari, Jihad Ward, and then they got the rush position. Kayvon Thibodeau, Oshane Ximines, who did very, very well, okay, against Carolina. Now, the thing is some of how much is it like the scheme? How much is it maybe possibly, this is my last year, I better really start doing well because I want to get a contract next year. So we'll have to wait and see. Same thing with Carter last year. What did he have? 5 sacks in the last 4 games, I think it was. Right? That was his contract year. And it's a shame because he went to the Falcons for like $3 million a year. It's a shame, right? But could you imagine what the Giants, what we would have? If we had Lorenzo Carter, Oshane Ximines, right? You can say, Jihad Ward, right? Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeau. Wow. Quincy Roche on the practice squad. We would have some edge rushers. Holy cow. Man, you could have Azeez and you have Kayvon, give them a little blow, right? Put them on the sideline, them take a little rest or what, and then you got Lorenzo Carter, and you got the X-Man out there. Holy cow. Middle linebacker, we got Tay Crowder and Austin Calitro. Micah McFadden is the backup for both of them. Okay, then we got Carter Coughlin and Cam Brown are the third string. middle linebackers, right? You got Adoree Jackson and Aaron Robinson are the cornerbacks, right? Cordell Flott is the second string. Nick McLeod is the third string for the left cornerback, and the right cornerback is Justin Lane. He's the third stringer. Now, the nickel cornerback, Darnay Holmes and Cordell Flott. So Cordell Flott is the second string for the left cornerback, the right cornerback, and the nickel cornerback, all right? Gotta love it. Same thing with Dane Belton. Freaking love it, too. Julian Love is the strong safety. The free safety is Xavier McKinney. The second string for both of them is Dane Belton, okay? And again, Jason Pinnock is the third string for both of them as well, too. Now, the thing I'm kind of questioning here, okay, is as we got four guys on the starters, right? Okay, that are injured. Okay, that didn't. Well, Leonard Williams played, but then he came out, okay, and couldn't go back in. All right, so we got Leonard Williams, Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Aaron Robinson. Okay, all those guys were injured last week. Okay, and didn't play, so they got them here. So it's kind of interesting to see what they wind up doing. You know, who's going to make it in time? You know what I mean, to be able to play. Right, going to be very, very interesting to see. All right, but then they got, all right, so you got Kayvon, all right, and you got Azeez, both guys inching a little bit closer, okay, a little bit closer. They're ramping up their workload here, okay. Kayvon Thibodeau practiced today and later sounded hopeful of making his NFL debut when the 2-0 Giants host the Cowboys. Today was definitely had a lot of progress, Thibodeau said, was able to open it up and do a lot of things. So, yeah, today I'm definitely confident. We're building right now. We're building on week 2. I don't want to go too far ahead of myself, but we're taking the right steps. Thibodeau and fellow edge rusher Azeez Ojulari each missed the season's first 2 games. The former with the knee injury suffered in the preseason game when a freaking crappy-ass block tried to take his knees out. And Azeez Ojulari with a calf injury he sustained in practice while running a sprint. Calf injury. Giants have big plans for each of them. Thibodeau was the 5th overall selection, right? And Ojulari led the team in sacks last season with a franchise rookie record of 8. Tibbs and Azeez, they're getting closer, said Dable. They're going to take some snaps, some team reps today. I think they took a little bit last week, and they're going to take more this week. They're getting close, so we'll see with them. The nice thing is it's not Sunday. It's Monday night. It's not even Monday. It's Monday night, okay? So that gives them, right? So, I mean, the game, instead of a 1 o'clock game, you got an 8:30 game, so that's an extra 7.5 hours they got, okay? And you got an extra day and an extra 7.5 hours, so keep your fingers crossed, right? Even if we get one of them back, right? Let's see, we got Thibodeau at 19 sacks in 3 seasons at Oregon, all right? And if he plays with Ojulari, Oshane Ximines, and Jihad Ward, the Giants will have a formidable foursome of outside pass rushers. Yep. Oh, yeah. I said, don't forget Quincy Roche, right? Now, don't forget the same thing, with Tim happened last year when he was with the Ducks or Oregon. Thibodeau sat out 2 early season games and was limited in the 3rd because of an ankle injury he suffered in Oregon's season opener against Fresno State. Now, that experience has helped him mitigate the disappointment of missing the team's first 2 NFL games. I would be disappointed too, but it is what it is. You take care of business, all right? Take care of yourself, and before he knows it, he'll be playing some football. All right. Now, what we got? Defensive lineman Leonard Williams did not attend practice so he could stay indoors to receive treatment on the right knee injury he sustained Sunday. Okay. His status for the Dallas Cowboy game has not yet been determined. Williams has started 21 consecutive games, tying linebacker Tay Crowder for the Giants' longest active streak. But he's never missed a game in his 8-year career. He played in all 114 games with 106 starts. He has not missed a game. Simply amazing. All the freaking dude does is play football. Love it. Absolutely. I mean, you can, make fun of his stats or, be happy about his stats. You can be pissed off about his contract, or you can be happy about his contract, or blah, blah, blah. You can be pissed off at Gettleman for signing him and trading some picks away from him, all that stuff. But the dude plays football, and he's in constant contact every down. every down. He's out there battling out. He played in every game. Then you got, like I say, Darius Tony, who can't even run like pass patterns without like pulling a string or something. It's simply amazing. He's got Leo's rehabbing, Dable said. And again, Leo's a quick healer. He tells me he's a quick healer. Right? Cornerback Aaron Robinson is back with the team undergoing an appendectomy last week, but is not ready to engage in football activities. And Dable said, A-Rob, I think, is really a wild card. Dable said he's getting better. He's walking around, but I'd say I won't know that his status for the game probably until any of us won't until the end of the week. Then you got the 3 wide receivers, right? Sterling Shepard was given time off. Don't want to overtax him. I understand that 100%. Okay. And it's just been 9 months since his Achilles. Okay. So let the frickin' dude stay at home. Right, lay on the couch, whatever he's got to do. Don't overtax him, absolutely, because Sterling Shepard is very, very valuable on the field. Okay. Then, of course, we got Kadarius Toney with his hamstring tightness. That's his latest injury he's going through, hamstring tightness. So he didn't practice. And rookie Wan'Dale Robinson, who missed the victory against Carolina with a knee injury suffered in the opener, was not ready to return. He's getting better, Dable said. He's close. For this week, I'm not sure. So, once again, we'll have to wind up just waiting and seeing, what's going on with Wan'Dale Robinson. Because, once again, we can use him on the field too. Absolutely. All right, then we finally got, all right. I saw this a couple days ago. All right, how the Giants obviously didn't pick up, 2 things happened. Giants did not pick up Daniel Jones's 5th-year option, right? And he's got a long way. If they're going to franchise tag him, I think I saw it was like $31 million. Okay. He's got a long way to go before they franchise tag him. Let me tell you that much. But, it's only been 2 games. He's learning a new system. Pass protection hasn't been that great. There's been some questionable throws he's had, or non-throws, shall I say. Not seeing receiver open. I know the coaches see it. So he's got a long way to go. All right. So that's happened. He's got a long way to go to being franchise tag for next season or being given a nice, juicy salary, nice contract. Okay. So that didn't happen. And then also, we got Lamar Jackson. Them and the Baltimore Ravens could not iron out a contract, a long-term contract. Not sure why, but. So I saw this is a Giants wire. It's about with Tiki Barber. All right. The Giants quarterback Daniel Jones often gets called out for the team's inability to win games. That's different so far this season, but his play on the field still has many questioning if he's the guy. I don't think he is, but head coach Brian Dable and general manager Joe Shane decided not to exercise Jones' 5th-year option, which shows that they are not tied to him as their quarterback. They also have upwards of $80 million in cap space opening up next year, so there's room to find a solid QB with experience. Now, just remember, whatever they got, if it's $80 million, I can go over the cap, or they all seem like they're all a little different. What the Giants have as far as salary, but just make sure you remember whatever the Giants have, they got Tyrod Taylor signed. Now, as far as I know, he's the backup. Okay. Can he play? Sure. Can he start? Sure. Can he be the starting quarterback all season? Sure. I don't know if he'll take us to the Super Bowl, but the only quarterback that got signed, as far as I know, is Tyrod Taylor. Daniel Jones ain't signed. They don't have a plan B, right? Plan A, plan B. They got nothing. All right. Saquon's not signed. Daniel Jones ain't signed. So, all right. So just keep that in mind. It's not like, we got $80 million. Saquon signed, Daniel Jones is signed, everybody in the offense is signed. No. All right. So we got souls. All right. To be a next year because more could nail him down. Former Giants running back Tiki Barber is really starting to believe that Jackson could land in New York, noting that Jackson feels disrespected by Baltimore and the stage provided for New York teams is a perfect fit for Jackson. Now, there's also Tiki and Tierney. Okay, very, very good show. Guys are very knowledgeable. I love listening to them. Really, really good. Okay. There's a video. Okay. I'm sure you can find it on, there's one here on Twitter from Brandon Tierney, but I'm sure you can get it on YouTube. He's talking about the part of the show where Tiki was thinking maybe Lamar Jackson could possibly wind up in being a Giant next year. The perfect place for him, a place that has money, which the Giants do. New York City has money, right? You start taking the Giants to the playoffs and Super Bowl contention and all this stuff. You know the endorsements that guy can have. Oh my God, wow! And as I said, the Giants are going to have money next year. They can pay a quarterback, and the thing is, they can, they bring him in. Say 5 years, right? They pay him say $55 million a year. Just throwing numbers out there. Make him happy, or $52 million, whatever. So he's the highest paid quarterback. Make him happy. Okay. Make it 5 years, $52 million. That would be what, $5 million? 5 years, $260 million. Right? If my math is correct. But you don't have to make it. You give him a nice big sign-in bonus, right? But I mean, so you can make it where his salary cap hit next year is like just saying $30 million, right? So that leaves you some extra space to maybe re-sign Saquon and maybe bring in somebody else, right? But then you have yourself your quarterback. If you got Lamar Jackson and Tyrod Taylor, you're good to go. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to win a Super Bowl, but I mean, as far as quarterbacks, guys, you're good to go. Absolutely freaking good to go, without question. And you got Lamar Jackson, who you can probably have here for the next 10 years, right? So for the next 10 years, right, you got your right tackle, Evan Neal. Hopefully, I don't know if he's going to play. Well, maybe he might play 13 years, but you got your left tackle. You get next 10 years, you got your quarterback. You got, as long as they don't get hurt, you got Kayvon Thibodeau for the next 10 years. You know what I mean? So you got guys to build around, right? Let's say a place that is an ideal media market for a star, a former MVP who's dynamic, has got a coach who is going to help turn him into a Josh Allen level quarterback. Could you imagine what Dable and Kafka could do with Lamar Jackson? Oh my! Now he's not probably the most precise passer. Okay, obviously he's very good. But I mean, oh my God, what he can do is with the running and whoo. Man, could you imagine him and Saquon? I might price Saquon out of the market here, you know what I mean? But could you imagine him and Saquon on the field at the same time? Holy cow. Wow. Man. All right. Let's see. I'm now starting to believe it. Lamar Jackson could be a New York Giant next year. Jackson has only been in the league a year longer than Jones, but their stats or ratings are very different. Jackson has been a 2-time Pro Bowl. In 2019 was named first team All-Pro. His quarterback rating is 99, but through 2 games in 2022, his rating is 120. He's thrown 90 touchdowns and 32 interceptions, including 6 TDs and 1 interception in 2022. His overall career is a 64.1 completion percent. So he's not the most accurate quarterback. You know what I mean? You're going to take a little bit of a hit there, but I mean, what he can do, it's Jones, meanwhile, has postseason accolades. Career quarterback ratings 99 for this year, though. He's thrown 40 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. All right, so he's got 3 TDs and 1 interception this year over his career, and has a 63% completion percentage. Right, and then let's not forget all the fumbles he has as well, too. Aside from the passing game, Jackson brings an additional element to the field with his ability to run the ball as needed. His passing is greatly improved since entering the NFL. But I'm saying, could you imagine with proper coaching and maybe get him a little bit better? Oh, man. Woo! Gosh, I'm telling you. But his ability to scramble and make plays outside the pocket has to have the Giants salivate. Oh, yeah. I mean, did you see what he did against the Dolphins? Was it a 75-yard run, 80-yard run? Holy cow. There was a hole. He went to the right side. It was, I guess maybe you could say not off tackle. It was inside the tackle, I believe it was. In between maybe the guard and the tackle. A hole opened up, and he just took off. Nobody caught him. Unbelievable. Right? Let's see. we don't know if either of them will succumb to injury or if something else will interfere with their performance. Still, it's safe to say that Jackson is someone the Giants are keeping a close eye on. Right, on shoulder, they let Jones walk and opt not to select a quarterback in the 2023 NFL draft. Now the thing is, which I don't want to say, the Giants are doing bad, by winning. But I mean, the thing is that, obviously, the more games you win, the worse your draft pick's going to be. And when you got maybe you might have the top 2-3 elite quarterbacks coming out next year, just say 2 or 3, say 4, that might go in the top 6, 7, 8, 10 picks. And if you're picking number 19, could you trade up? Yeah, absolutely. Sure. You could try to trade up. You have to jump in front of somebody, but you're going to get sloppy thirds or fourths. I mean, first 1 or 2 guys, the top guys are gone. You're not getting the number 1, right? So if you're going to have to pick the 3rd or 4th or maybe 5th best quarterback. Now, is that going to be, do you want to trade up to get a 4th or 5th best quarterback? Maybe they see something, top 4, 5, or 6 guys. Maybe they're like, yeah, we can work with all 6 of these guys. Okay, well, fine. So maybe you want to jump up in front of a few teams and maybe snatch a quarterback. That might work. Quite possible. But I'm saying the more Giants win, obviously, let's not forget their draft pick goes worse and worse and worse. But I mean, it's a trade-off. You get a bad draft pick, why? Well, because you had a good season. Okay, I'm fine with that. Do we want to struggle through another crappy season and go 4-13 once again just to be pick number 5, right? If we do, okay, well, all right. Well, then then we're going to be able to get one of those top quarterbacks. But I mean, if we're not, I mean, that's for them to figure out. It's like, man, I don't know. There's 3 guys I see we can work with. 3. And out of the top 8 teams in the draft next year, I'm just saying, I'm just thinking about Joe Shane thinking here. Well, there's 3 guys we can work with, right? These top 8 picks here, those 3 guys are going to be gone. So we're drafting 19. We got to go from 19, at least number 6 or 7 or something. What's that going to take? How much is that going to cost us? Do we want to spend that much in draft capital? Right? Or do we want to maybe, as I'm saying, maybe try to get a Lamar Jackson? Right? Possibilities are there, but I think Daniel Jones has still got a long ways to go. Okay. As I said, he certainly turned things around, right? But some things I've just seen some of the film, other people putting videos up. I got a Facebook group and all that, and I mean, people putting videos up and stuff. The guys running wide open. It should be almost like a pitch and catch for a touchdown. There was like at least 2 of them against the Panthers. And Daniel Jones just didn't see him. So, he's got a long way to go. And, 2 games are down, only got 15 more games to go. So, can he turn it around? Yeah. But is his time running out? Yep. Yes, it is. But it's going to be very, very interesting offseason. But that's neither here nor there right now. Next, we're going to worry about those Dallas Cowboys. And I've gone 38 minutes. Man, I just talking. Once again, I see 2 people gave me thumbs up. Guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Anybody that spent any time at all, even if it was 5 seconds watching me, thank you. Thank you so much. And anybody's going to watch the replay of this, thank you so much. You guys absolutely freaking rock. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.